want to jump in there on about the Ron Paul. I listened to that the other day, and I'm like, what the heck is this guy even talking about? And I remember why, at first, I kind of supported Ron Paul years ago. And then when he started going, well, what's wrong with Iran having a nuke? Hello? You know, what's he smoking? So, and I keep hearing you go with different people, and they're like, you know, and he was kind of like, don't say that, Alex. Don't. Well, he's the one that's, I wouldn't have him back on my show, just to be honest with you.
All right, we're going to your phone calls here in about 60 seconds. First off, we are listeners supported. And we are the tip of the spear. There are a lot of great people out there doing great work, like Mr. Tatum that we were talking about earlier. But InfoWars is like an aircraft carrier in a major fight against the globalists. And we are having a gigantic effect thanks to all of the support and the prayers and everything else you've done for us. So please continue to visit InfoWarsStore.com. The globalists want to end free market activity and only have monopolies because then they can control those monopolies like Amazon, Walmart, and others. When you get high-quality supplements, Patriot apparel, books, films, water filtration, air filtration, you name it, from InfoWarsStore.com, you are funding an operation that literally is beyond a burr under the saddle of the New World Order. We are accurately analyzing the globalists. We are exposing their program in real time, and we are really shaking them. And we're a major focal point. My main goal is to get the liberty movement going so strong and anti-globalism so strong that so many other major players arrive that actually go for the jugular, can't be bought off, can't be intimidated, that I can recede. Because let me tell you something, I don't want to be pedal to the metal, RPMs in the red for 20 years. There's a selfish side of me. I've got a 4.5-month-old daughter who's the sweetest thing you ever seen. And I really do want to spend time with her. And look, I know the world's going to a time of great change. So I'm not complaining about how much I work. But, I mean, I'm cross-eyed half the time. And there's been a lot of stuff they've done to me behind the scenes just to where I don't want to continue to do this if I've got too many irons in the fire and I just can't execute it all properly. Because believe me, they're sabotaging us like a pack of gremlins. Imagine this, you know, the old World War II jokes about gremlins on board an aircraft, and you got 20 little green guys climbing all over the fuselage, tearing wires out and, you know, trying to sabotage the engines. I mean, I'm trying to carry out the main mission, and I got gremlins all over the plane. But that's okay. They know to come after us. They'll probably play that on Comedy Central and say, I really believe in gremlins. It's a metaphor. But they don't care. They're liars. So they'll just take it and play it. And that's fine. Folks will hear it, think it's funny, come watch the show, come listen to it. So we definitely make lemonade out of lemons. But Vitamin Mineral Fusion is high-quality organic vitamins and minerals with amino acids so your body uploads them better. Concentrated, and it is 50% off. We've been sold out for months, but I wanted people to try it who haven't gotten it. 50% off retail. It is amazing. One little scoop in your water with ice. Delicious for your children. Delicious for yourself. Put it in a pitcher in the refrigerator. Drink it a few times a day. It's amazing. Fruit punch flavor. Naturally, organically flavored. InfoWarsLive.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or 888-253-3139. And I can offer that, it looks like, for a couple weeks. And then I'm going to go back to regular price until more comes in, looks like first of the year. Caveman is close to selling out, and more is set to come in soon. But I'm going to keep the 50% off at least for the rest of the week. And it looks like we've got to stop that. It's concentrated organic bone broth from chicken. You know, chicken noodle soup. Grandma knew how good that was. Concentrated. And then it's got the turmeric, the chaga mushroom, the bee pollen, the alfalfa powder, all of it organic, super strong, a bunch of other superfoods. It's amazing. Mix it with some strawberries and some milk, and it tastes good. Just by itself, strawberry tastes okay. Same thing with the chocolate. I like it with milk or with the whey product we have. It's just a national brand, organically certified, that we private label and sell for $5 to $10 less than leading competitors. Our Caveman is proprietary and is now the standard of bone broth. Find out the health benefits, the effects of bone broth for athletes, folks for their joints, their cartilage, whether you're old or young. amazing benefits of Caveman. Your kids are in sports. Check it out for yourself. True Whey Protein and Caveman, we have that in a combo, discounted as well. It's got 4.8-star reviews. And thank you all for the reviews and the support. 888-253-3139. Alexa Pure Breeze air filtration is not a fancy thing to have. It's a necessity to have. It's not a luxury. It's a necessity. We got that 20% off so you can enjoy that for your home. Ion filtration and 3 other filters as well for half the price of leading competitors. We also have the Emirates Essentials essential oils that are now in. Thank you again for all your support. Now, let's go to your phone calls. Start your engines. I said I'm taking 30 calls. I just took 2. I'm not leaving until I take 30 calls. Let's go right down the line. Mike in Minnesota wants to talk about Roy Moore victory in Alabama. Despite $33 million of establishment money against his $2 million, Roy Moore won. Another sign of an unstoppable populist wave that will destroy Republicans and Democrats. Go ahead.
Well, Alex, it's a pleasure to be on the show, an honor to speak to you as always. And sabotage is the perfect track to play prior to the commercial break because the GOP is sabotaging themselves. I mean, they distanced themselves from Trump during the primaries, the election, and a couple of months after the election. The fact that they're calling on him to endorse a candidate that should have it in the bag, like Luther has already served, proves they're getting desperate and that they know that the populist movement is coming. And the fact that Roy Moore won, and I mean, this man pulled a gun on stage. He did everything wrong by the books. But
I was about to say, they think being wild and being real, like Kid Rock or myself or something, makes folks hate us. It's the opposite. All these stuffed suit, sociopath, sellout mummies don't get it yet. But as Breitbart reports, Roy Moore's Alabama victory deals devastating blow to McConnell establishment, and it's not over yet as that moves, but the Republicans may back the Democrat against him.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, the GOP has to be just so nervous right now because Trump may have lost the battle with endorsing Senator Luther, but his movement has won the war. This is a sign of winning the war. So the Trump populist movement is stronger than ever.
I agree. You know, and I've never worn cowboy hats on air or never ride around on horses, but I've really worked on a ranch and really have a family ranch and a family farm that's operating. I think I'm going to go out and get on some horses and ride around and fire fully auto from horseback and stuff. Just because the globalists hate it so much, I think we need to just throw the Americana back in their face. What do you think?
Oh, 100%. And I mean, they need to see it from every angle. I mean, we let the liberals suppress us so much with this anti-American rhetoric, and we need to stand up and show that this is the least cool thing possible.
It is. Somebody on horseback, you know, riding around, somebody out there, a mother taking care of her kids, a firefighter, a factory worker. That's sexy. That's Americana. That's valuing ourselves again. And isn't it beautiful to see the rejection of Hollywood, the NFL? That's the American spirit. Alexander de Tocqueville, the French historian, said, the true revolution is people don't like elitism. They like real folks. And that was the true breaking of the class system through free market, not through communism. America's sexy. It's new. It's the cutting edge. It's why everybody wanted to come here. God bless you. You know, that's the joke photo of me and Trump and Putin on horseback for radio listeners. Google Alex Jones on horseback. You got the Planet of the Apes one where I really did ride down the side of the beach in Grand Cayman on a horse. And my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, took that picture. And then you got the one she did, too, when we were out riding horseback in the Texas Hill Country. And it really triggers the leftists for some reason. And they go, oh, look, he's dumb, and make fun of it. And I wondered, why do they make fun of it when somebody gets a snapshot of me actually wearing a cowboy hat out in the country, or I'm on a horse? Because I wear a cowboy hat because, you know, so my head doesn't get burned. They do it because they hate it, folks. Because I'm supposed to be up on that horse. Or they go, oh, look, he's a Texan. He's wearing tennis shoes. They just don't get any of it. Yeah, there I am in Grand Cayman. And then let's pull up the one in Texas. Alex Jones on horseback triggers liberals. And they just go completely insane over it. And if they don't like it, I'm going to do it more. In fact, that's it. I'm going to ride horseback and shoot targets live. You got to have horses that know how to do that, though. I've done this twice before, back before it was popular on TV. But I've hunted wild hogs with carbide Shaka Zulu spears on horseback with pit bulls. And I think it's so triggering. I think I'm going to go out. I got to get my Achilles fixed first, or maybe I'll just go out and let my Achilles get blown. I'm going to go out and kill wild 400, 500-pound hogs with a big spear. You think folks would like that? I mean, I got a bunch of footage of stuff like this I haven't put out. Maybe I should just put it out if it triggers them that bad. They want to see caveman behavior. Okay, let's go ahead and go to Lee in Nebraska. Lee, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hi, Lee. Hi, Alex. I've tried to call before, but I spent 2 hours and 10 minutes on 2 phones redialing.
Well, brother, you're on air now worldwide. You're on air. You're on air.
Can I plug some of your products first before I get to my main point?
Sure, brother.
I auto-subscribe to a number of your items, among them the toothpaste, and if anybody would just try it, they'll never use anything else. It's absolutely fabulous. I get 5 Brain Force every 2 months, or every 42 days. My wife and I both take it. We love it. Couldn't get by without it, as well as the X2 and Z Shield, and we're taking the Myco till it was no longer available, and I'm now anxiously awaiting my Pro Pure King that I ordered a little over 10 days ago, and I really wanted to order your new hat you designed, but I couldn't find it on your website.
What is that you're trying to find?
Anyway, and the new hat with the snake on it.
I know. I've seen the whole office wearing this hat, and then I was on there and couldn't find. I'm not complaining, but yeah, where is the new hat? That'd be in the apparel section. It's in the Alex Jones recommended, and there's the new hat. It hadn't got any reviews yet, but that's a high-quality made-in-America hat. Well, this is what I did. I was in a store, and I found a hat that I liked and actually fit my head. This is a Richardson hat. This is the best seller in the country. I didn't know that. I just liked the way it looked and the way it fit. And I said, can I just have copies of this with InfoWars and the snake? So we do have a run of that. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I wanted one of those, but I couldn't find it. Anyway,
well, brother, we'll put it on the front page for you right now. How's that sound?
All right. Sounds good. Before I get to my main point about health care and destroying the mainstream media, you say you're willing to be corrected. Let me tell you about something from yesterday. It's a myth that the anti-pre-tribbers put out that it's only 200 years old. Actually, if you go back to the ancient church fathers of the first century, they all believed in the pre-trib rapture. Dr. Ken Johnson.
Well, actually, they believed that within their lifetime Christ would come back, and that then they thought when the sacking of Jerusalem came in 70 A.D. by Titus, that was the end of the world. You're correct.
All right. Well, anyway, I know you've had Steve Quayle on. He's a pre-tribber as well.
Well, buddy, let me say this. I sure hope. Listen, you heard me say. I hope that's the case. Is he still there?
All right. I am an ex-physician. I quit in protest to Obamacare passing, but I think, and you're probably too young to remember this, but I'm quite a bit older than you. I'm 70. I remember when every other commercial on TV was about camels or the Marlboro Man, and they finally deleted those. If they delete the drug industry from being able to advertise on TV and go back to the days when you had reps that came into your office like I did and gave you samples, which they hardly ever give out anymore because they're spending too damn much money on TV advertising. I used to use those samples for people that couldn't afford their drugs.
Well, I was about to say, they used to give you samples so you could test it on the patients of already approved stuff to see what worked best for you, because you were the physician, you were in charge, you were doing your practice to practice and see what worked best. Instead, they've removed that from you and basically made you somebody that just the computers tell what to do. So they're really ending the Hippocratic Oath about 16 years ago, as I'm sure you know as a retired physician. And you're absolutely right. And so weren't you not taught in medical school that a large part of what you did was supposed to be free to the poor, and now they've just removed that option from you?
Absolutely, and I never charged clergy or fellow physicians or nuns, and And besides all the free care, one day when I was retired, I sat and figured out I lost somewhere between $3 and $4 million from people not paying their co-pays and stuff I got screwed out of from Medicaid and Medicare.
Well, my dad's the same way,
anyway.
and he was doing that to serve people in health care. And then when he got with Obamacare, he said, we can't legally run anything anymore. They've made it illegal. He wasn't going to go join the lobbyists and go buy congressmen, so he had to get out of it. I mean, that's where this country is.
Some of the proudest surgeries I did were free, and but beside that, I think if you got rid of that, it would kind of take away a lot of the sponsors from the mainstream media, which seems to have a drug commercial on every other commercial, and it would also lower the cost of medicine and health care. So
absolutely. God bless you, sir. Appreciate your calls, Lee. Appreciate all your great testimony. And again, I'm not debating pre or post-tribulation. I'm not getting in the middle of it. We know there's a world government. We know it's satanic. I mean, it says it's satanic. And so they make their jokes all day about it. We all understand that. We all love Christ. And that's what matters. We're brothers and sisters in Christ. And I don't want to see everybody fighting with each other over doctrinal debates. You know Christ is there. You accept him as your Savior. The devil's real. Evil's real. God's real. World government's real. The mark of the beast is real. Let's just know that that's what we're facing. Because I really think that, you know, the fighting over the Scripture is what's divided the church up. And it's fine to be different denominations. That's all great. I just know I love God. And I know that I want to fight the New World Order. Let's go ahead and go to Charles in Germany. You're on the air. Thanks for holding, Charles.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, so the first talking point I'd like to make is the teleprompted talking point by Morgan Freeman that Paul Joseph Watson and the InfoWars crew destroyed about a week ago, that we are at war with Russia. This is apparently big news to me. I'm living in the U.S. military community overseas and have done for about 15 years of my life. And over those 15 years, it has not been uncommon at all to see and talk to Russian military soldiers. They use our facilities like the commissary, like the PX. You know, they are our colleagues in many respects. You know, we're not at war with these people.
No, well, they're Christians and have pulled out of the New World Order. They're fighting the globalists, the communists, and that's why they're the enemy now. The liberals wanted to merge with Russia when they were the Soviets. They were the one always giving our plans. They were the ones that helped because it was a godless, satanic, communist government over the Russian Christians, and they want the same thing here. That's all it is. That's why they say there's Russian collusion, because there is. There's spiritual collusion between American and Russian Christians. That's what the pedophile Hollywood Satanists can't stand.
Exactly. And over the course of the past decade, with the Islamification of Europe, we have actually seen increases in attacks of Americans overseas. One example I'd like to give to you is the very sad example of Airman First Class Zachary Cuddeback. Back in 2011, he was a bus driver busing to Frankfurt Airport to pick up members of the 48th Security Forces, and upon picking them up, was killed by an Albanian ethnic, along with another member of that security force.
Sure, just like the attack this weekend at the church with the Sudanese Muslim immigrant invader, you know, shooting 9 people, killing 1. And he said, I killed them because they were white and they were Christian. And this is the invasion. So what do you think this massive invasion of Europe and the U.S. by military-aged men is about? The left admits that this is their strong arm. I think the left doesn't know when to stop, because we're going to end up, you know, going after all these people.
Well, Ronald Reagan very wisely said that if communism ever comes to the United States or Western civilization, it'll come under the banner of liberalism. So this is, from what I can tell, probably an attack on Western civilization.
That's it. You always wanted to know what the communist George Soros attack would look like. This is it, and he runs it. It's not like it's our opinion. We're seeing the full attack. The NFL thing, all of it is just the flag's evil, America's evil. Let's burn stuff down. Let's kill Whitey. And all these white coaches and all these weird white doctors going, whites are evil, whites are bad. They're virtue signaling in what they're trying to start. Don't kill us. Well, guess what? The minorities are the majority. They want free market. They want America. They're not stupid. They're running a big dry run that's a failure. This thing is dead on arrival. They were supposed to have Hillary in while they executed all this. They're following a whole plan. It's a misfire. It's a derailment. It's a jackknife. It's a cattywampus. It's over. Charles, God bless you. Let's now go to Kerry in Missouri. Wants to talk about that fella Tatum. I had a piece of paper here. What's that guy's first name? I love him. Brandon Tatum, my new favorite talk show host. Comes out of nowhere. Gets 90,000 followers. He only had a few thousand before. When he starts talking politics, he's a true natural, just absolutely devastating them right down the line. What do you make of Brandon Tatum, the Officer Tatum? What do you make, Kerry in Missouri?
Oh, sorry, I'm not familiar with that, Alex. It's just a pleasure.
Okay, well, it just said Tatum. Maybe you didn't know the guy's name. It just said on screen, Kerry in Missouri wants to talk Tatum. You mean the guy we played earlier?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, those guys were right on. And when he talked about that, you know, once you get you're not a factual. If you're in an NFL, NBA, you're injured, you know, what's up? What are you going to do? Yeah, you retire fat, big bank account, but you're no longer legitimate. Your voice doesn't mean nothing. So I totally agree with that. I mean, more power to them. I really wanted to get on. I've listened to you for years, follower, supporter in every way. Have InfoWars and Trump stickers on my truck.
Thank you.
It causes some excitement sometimes, let's just say that, which is interesting.
Well, you're exercising your First Amendment in the face of bullies, and that's literally serving your country to have an InfoWars sticker, not the extent of the military or whatever, but it's a war zone out there. They attack folks, whatever. I mean, you're in a zone with Antifa and the rest of them that are killing cops. So when you basically stick an Infowars.com sticker or a Trump sticker on your car, it's like putting on a police uniform, basically, because the Antifa and BLM, they want to go after patriots, Trump supporters, Infowars supporters, and police. So, I mean, it is supporting the First Amendment in a civil war up against a bunch of terrorists. So it really is serving your country.
Sorry, Alex, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying that we live in Missouri in the central Ozarks, if you will, and kind of a rural area, but you would be amazed at the Muslim infiltration is what I call it here. We live close to Missouri S&T, and which it's just crazy. It's crazy. When you go into Walmart, you're just stared down, the Walmart Supercenter over there. It's just crazy, but yeah, we get a lot from just what you would think would be normal. What are you doing with that Trump sticker on there? You know, an InfoWars, you know, and usually you can just, you know, walk away from it, but sometimes stand your ground. You have to, you know, we're not just going to live on our knees. And I think mainly, I tried yesterday. It was the first time I've ever tried to talk. I want to jump in there on about the Ron Paul. I listened to that the other day, and I'm like, what the heck is this guy even talking about? And I remember why. At first, I kind of supported Ron Paul years ago, and then when he started going, well, what's wrong with Iran having a nuke? Hello? You know, what's he smoking? So, and I keep hearing you go with different people on there like, you know, and he was kind of like, don't say that, Alex. Don't. Well, he's the one I wouldn't have him back on my show, just to be honest with you, brother.
I love Ron Paul. He's done a lot. The issue is, oh, Alex, they claim they've got nukes. No, North Korea has nukes. They're the ones threatening to blow up Japan and the U.S., so I get the fact that we don't want to have more wars and that we've had, but the fact is Kim Jong-un is bad. I mean, let's admit communism really sucks.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, it just seems like a different parallel to me that, and like I said, I actually...
Well, here's a bellwether. Joel Skousen's not supported any of these wars. But as he's pointed out, North Korea is real. It's being backed by the Chinese, and they're planning something big. And so we better get ready and understand this is serious. And it doesn't mean we want a war either. But folks better know this is the real deal. Go ahead.
You know, which is a red flag or whatever you want to call it, you know, we all better be hanging onto our guns and our Bibles, you know. And I did want to talk real quick. In Thessalonians, Paul said, who, remember now, he held Stephen's coat while he was being stoned to death, and then he wrote 2/3 of the New Testament. He said, let no man deceive you. That day of the Lord, the coming of the Lord, will not happen till there's a great falling away of the church, okay, of the so-called Christians. Well, how's that happen? Because they're threatened with Islam. And because the rapture did not happen when it was supposed to happen. So there's a great falling away until that son of perdition, that wicked, is revealed, the beast, the man, you know, the one world ruler. But anyway, more than anything, I just want to encourage you. I know you're tired, man. I'm a single dad. I'm an electrician. I quit the IBEW union because of where my dues were going. You understand what I'm saying?
You've paid for your beliefs. You've stood up for what you believe in.
And sometimes they'll go, you're sounding like Alex Jones now. I'm like, thank you. See, I get worked up on it. You're not doing, but see, that kind of intensity can wear you out. So, but don't quit, bro.
No, that's my problem. I can't go half speed. I just go all the time, and I'm exhausted. All right, we're going to come right back. God bless you, Kerry. 4th hour coming up. More calls straight ahead. Then Roger Stone and more. Please spread the word. They're trying to shut this down. Infowars.com/show. They hate that, folks. They hate it.
What the aging process is when the cell replicates, we lose a little bit of our telomeres. Telomeres are the little cups on the end of our chromosomes.
And when it runs out, you start dying.
Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com.